And what's this? It's the Porsche! The Porsche is slowing! It's Klaus Ludwig! It couldn't
be anything to do with the fact that he was going so hard and using so much fuel.
He's a small pocket-sized battleship, but you know, Hans Stuck and Derek Biller are very much bigger chaps, and I wouldn't want to be telling them about it, not even over the radio. Hello, and welcome to Le Mans 1988. This is probably the most important Le Mans that has taken place for a very long time, going back into the 50s.
Definitely the number one car,
Yes.
which was a new car
Yes.
built by Porsche for that year's Le Mans.
Yeah.
Expectations must have been high, because I think by then you were a 5-time Le Mans winner.
Yeah.
I think your co-drivers had won Le Mans multiple times. You
Yeah.
were definitely the most decorated crew.
Yeah.
But this was the Le Mans that didn't quite come your way.
Yeah, well, you know, it was fair really that somebody else should win it. But it was disappointing because I actually, at that level, I mean, you say, you know, with Robin Donovan, there were 3 drivers and so on and a few races. But generally speaking, we always drove just with 2. And I remember saying, you know, I remember Hans Stuck saying to me, who are we going to have as a third driver? And I said, you know, there's nobody that I would sort of trust driving with us. Not that they weren't as good as us, but we had such experience.
Had Klaus a lot of experience with Porsche before?
He did have quite a lot. Yes, I think he drove for Joest, and I think he'd won it before. But yeah, I can say it now because it's at least 20 years later. But I think Klaus, as much as I liked him and admire him and all he did, I mean, he was a hell of a driver, but he wasn't as good a teammate for some reason. He was more, I would say he was a little more interested in Klaus Ludwig winning the race.
Mm-hmm. And what's this? It's the Porsche! The Porsche is slowing! It's Klaus Ludwig!
Do you think
It couldn't
be
have done.
anything to do with the fact that he was going so hard and using so much fuel?
I think you might have read that right. I think that in fact we could have a situation where Ludwig has stayed out perhaps 1 lap too many, and he may very well be out of fuel now. It's absolutely critical that he gets that car back to the pits, because if he doesn't, that's it. There will be a Porsche out. But meanwhile, it's losing a lot of time.
He can coast on the downhill bits and possibly drive it on the starter motor while the battery lasts on the other bits. But I think, as you say, I think he's done 1 lap too many, or gone a bit too hard, one or the other. He's made the pits, at least. There they go, the Porsche mechanics in overalls to match the car. One of them hurriedly talking to Klaus and asking what's the problem. He says, fuel, no fuel.
He's not going to be a very popular man.
Well, now that, of course, means that the lead Jaguar will pull away, because the other Porsches were nothing like so close to it. This was the one that was biting the Jaguar's ankles.
If you were going to go fast, you could only do 11 laps on a tank full. If you went a bit slower, you could do 12, and if you went a bit slower, you could do 13. And then you had to figure out before the race which format you're going to go in for, because if you did 13, you were going to do fewer stops. And 1 stop could be a matter of 4 minutes. On the dashboard, above sort of the rev counter, there was a little dial, and it was about the size of a shilling. And it would tell you what your actual raw readout was of fuel, how much fuel you'd used so far in the race. So you knew that that's what you should, that's what you should be at a certain point of laps. And then in your own mind, you had to figure out, was it going to do 11 laps, 12 laps, or 13 laps on that amount of the fuel that you had. It was bloody difficult. I mean, here you are going along, there's a readout here underneath your fist. And remember, the car was moving like that all the time. And you're doing up to 200, 220, you're going past, and as you go by, meanwhile you're trying to overtake people as well. And you're looking down and you're going, hold on, oh shit, I'm using too much fuel. And then you'd have to back off and follow a 911 all the way down into Mulsanne.
So fuel cost you the race.
Yes.
I think this race, Le Mans 88, goes down as one of the closest finishes ever.
There's no more than the odd pit stop in it.
This is going to go down as one of the great Le Mans in history.
It'll be significant to see whether the number 17 car, which has got to make up time, pulls away now from the leading car.
He must have lost at least a lap with that misjudgment over fuel, if that's what it was.
I think you were behind the Jaguar by less than 200 metres.
Yes.
And I read that there was only 1.5 litres of fuel left in the 962.
Is that so?
1.5 litres of fuel.
Well, you know more than I do. I just remember, you know, we had the race basically in the bag, and it all went wrong when Klaus tried to do that extra lap, although he doesn't really admit it, but he does. So,
were you aware that the Jaguar was struggling at the time?
Not at all, no.
Because apparently one of the two Jaguars had gone out with a gearbox problem.
Yeah.
That had been shared with the other Jaguars. So I believe the winning car, when the gearbox started to vibrate, I think it was Jan Lammers or whoever was driving, very smartly got it in 4th gear.
Yeah.
And I think the latter part of the race, they drove it only in 4th gear.
Did they really?
And managed, I think at the pit stop, I don't know how they managed to slip the clutch and get out the pits, but they got out in 4th gear. Yeah. Maybe the one that got away, but
it doesn't matter. It's still a major part of history.
It's all part of history.
Yeah. There you go. Bloody beautiful. Look at that. God. Wonderful, isn't it? It's all right there. Do you realise how everything is just there? It's just astonishing, isn't it? It feels just like home. Isn't it amazing? Everything is just there.
All in the right place.
Yeah. Just get in and fit like that. Yeah. Can you imagine old Stucky? And no wonder he was a bit like that in here. I'm happy to stay in here, actually. No, hold on. I know it's right back. There, it's on it now. But so, I mean, that's perfect for me. Well, I mean, at the end of it, it's the perfection of it, isn't it? I mean, it's just, the car is perfect. There's no car that was better. I mean, during that era. I mean, this is the ultimate car. I mean, this actual car is the actual ultimate car. And it is fantastic. Just to get back in it again. I mean, I've used the phrase over the years, it's like an old girlfriend, but I have to be very careful. But it is, isn't it? It's something that you're in love with for so long. Well, okay, all that's left now is to open that door up, and let's just let me take it for a spin down the Gloucester Road. How about that? It would cause a stir, wouldn't it? Oh, God.